Good evening. Going to be looking at some Wellstream order flow. Going to start with where it left off. And at the end of the day, I haven't perfected that like the SPY puts that came in at the end of the day. Well, actually, let me backtrack it here. I'm going to start with the tail end of this. We're going to go to like the last 10 minutes. That's really where I focus. Like this, I noticed the last 10 or 15 minutes of what's coming in. You know, that week, possibly the next week. Like you had team puts. That one I definitely would take note of. Single order hit, fine. Start seeing what kind of flow comes in. You start getting some SPY calls. Those Amazon calls. It was already so far up I couldn't take those. This is where 7 minutes left, so I don't know that's the best timing. But that's where I saw those AZN puts come in. You can probably still get them tomorrow, 71s, like a single order. Quite a few 1,000. Now these orders where they're like 500 and 1,000, sometimes I have mixed feelings on them, where it's even versus like this or this or this. I mean, these could be splits. But that's where I saw the AZN puts come in. The last 10 minutes is where I really try to look. You sort of see a gap here. There wasn't a lot coming in towards the end of the day. This came in, then whatever these are. That's so far out, I don't really pay attention to those. Now you start getting into the final 5 minutes. That's in July. I mean, you can look at those if you want. You start seeing a mixed bag of calls and puts. This is way too far out. This, now I missed this. Or did I miss this? This one you want to keep a look at tomorrow. CHPT. Let me pull that up on a chart real quick. CHPT, but it may have already had a flush as it is. It's just hard to spot all of them. Just a moment, I got to sneeze. Sorry about that. CHPT 623, 750 puts. And since this is low dollar, I mean, you can't really go large on that. What were they? 750 puts. So they just came in towards the end of the day and it hit close to 750, and they're just trying to get us play to get that in and maybe make a few 100%. That actually might be interesting. There's something they haven't added here yet that I want to look at, but these are next week's. I'm looking at short NVIDIA tomorrow on towards the end of the day. Next week's, Now here's where you start getting interesting. The last few minutes, SPY calls, right? Now I saw these too, the Google calls. I just wasn't going to take them. Google made a good run today. And I'm sort of mixed on what I think the SPY is going to do. It probably should go up, but we don't know that. But you start seeing some calls coming in. Like this order here at 358. These are tomorrow's. These are tomorrow's. These are tomorrow's. Take note of those. Like on Wednesday and Thursday night, the stuff that comes in the last few minutes, take note of those. Maybe just jump in and take a few. Small size, paper trade, whatever. This one here, this one here, this one here. Take a note of those. This one was really a sneak in here. PayPal calls, those will probably work, to be honest with you. PayPal 68 calls. Google came in, right toward the close there. So you had a few orders of Google tomorrow. That's the one I would look and keep an eye on. And then it closed, the market closed. I don't always look at these, but like you had some puts coming in right after the close, but that was today's. SPX puts here. Sort of, I haven't got this down pat after the market closes, the SPY and SPX. It's hitting like these here. These are tomorrow's. So now you're starting to sort of change my mind a little bit. Market close, started seeing these puts come in for like 50 cents. These are the 435s. And then 433. So 433 to 435 would be the area I'd be looking at. But then you see these calls here. It starts becoming a mixed bag if you look too much after the market close. So you had some put orders. I'm sort of leaning back to the put side, but it's almost neutral. And you're starting to get some resistance in the market, 27. Let's go ahead and rewind this. I think this is the only way you can do this. I'm not really sure. So 902, not much came in. So you saw some SPY calls right out of the gate, SPX, but that I'm looking for the same day. Look at those. And I missed those. I normally see these. What I was doing this morning, I don't know. I do not know. Look at that. You're going to puke when you see this, by the way. 623 calls, 930, same week expiration, right out of the gate. There's an urgency in that. And I swore I was looking at this, but maybe I wasn't. So the spike, those came in right out of the gate, Tesla, and I would normally looking at this stuff, 275 calls. 275 calls out of the gate. And what did those do today? I'm not going to pull that chart up, but you can look them up if you want. So right out of the gate, you're looking for the same week, Thursday and Friday morning, specifically Thursday, Friday morning, you're looking out of the gate. Every day you can look out of the gate, but specifically Thursday and Friday morning, 31 seconds. Somebody was dying to get in those. And what did they get paid today jumping in those calls? Well, I'll tell you right now, those are 275 calls. I'm going to tell you right now what they made on those. They didn't make a ton. Well, no, actually they did. They did. Those they got in this morning at 9:30. And actually, technically, you could have got in for 16 cents, but they got in those for 33 cents. They went up to $1. So you're like, it's too far out of the money, but they still more than made 200% on the return right out of the gate. So always look, as soon as it opens, boom. Amazon, 127 calls right out of the gate. And I missed these. Again, I'm not really sure. I was looking at positions and trades. My bad. So these came in 9:30:31. Same time the Tesla calls hit. They came in 1,500 here and 500 here. Single orders. It doesn't matter how many orders you got. You're looking for those. You're looking for them to come in. You jump in them. You don't care. You get in them Thursday and Friday morning. You see them come in, just jump in them. You want to chart it, whatever. But they got in those Amazon calls this morning, and that's the 127 calls. Okay, Amazon calls right out of the gate. Those were 65 by 66 cents. They went up to have $320. So 500%. That was the one to get. Now you could have just held them for 30 minutes and they went from like 65 cents to like 240. You get in with 5 of those right out of the gate, and what is that? I mean, it's like 100, it's like 200, like almost $800, $900, and I totally missed those. I have no excuses. I missed them. They came in right out of the gate. Urgency, same week expirations on the big names, Tesla, Amazon, this, that, the other. What else happened right here at 9:31? You saw 437 calls on SPY. And see, this is doing good for me as well because I totally missed this. This morning I was thinking about my own trades I already had on. Sometimes you just have to let your own trades do their thing and jump in these and let your trades that you've already got on just do whatever if you've already got them. So you don't care. These are more important. And I missed out on the boat. On this, you have the SPY calls at 9:31. Those are the 437 calls. And it's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. 437 calls came in out of the gate today, and they were at 44 cents. Is that right? 623, 437 calls. This is the 22nd, so that was tomorrow's calls. Okay, the 23rd, that's right. And those are 437s. So this is going to make it puke. This is 3 killer trades right now, right out of the freaking gate. And they came in for 44 cents. Those went up to $1. 3 trades right there. You notice right out of the gate, same day, next day, SPY, doesn't matter. Same day, next day. Look at that. Boom. 3 trades out of the gate. Now, this is a little bit later. These Tesla puts were bunk. That was trash. That's the next week. You don't care. You don't care what they're doing for those. Same week expiration. You're looking for them to come in right out of the gate. And the big names. It gets out a little further. You got Apple calls. All right. You're looking for the first 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. That's it. After that, it's all swings. So this is helping me see what I missed today. Apple, 623, 933. And Apple had a big move today as well. That's the 185 calls. And these, they were hitting for $1 something. Yeah, like $1.91. Those went to $2. So 100%. Almost all these are guaranteed 100%. You also see the Amazon puts come in here. And those were not a good play. You're looking for the urgency, the ones that first come out of the gate. Sometimes you'll see mixed bag. Get the first ones, the very first ones. DKNG, 25 calls. Would these have been any good? And you can look up the charts and stuff on these if you like. I'm not going to look up all of them. I just don't have time. But DKNG, and those were June 23rd, $25 call. See, this is getting me pumped up again because I thought I had a horrible day. I didn't really make any money. I was down like 30 bucks. And these came in at 43 cents. They went up to 80 cents. So, yes, those worked. AMC. Let's take a look at the AMC. And see, I'm actually looking at the option pricings here on my phone. It just takes too long on the computer. AMC $5 puts. Those came in today right at the opening gate at 9:30. And DKNG, whoops, I'm in AMC. We looked at AMC $5 puts for 80 cents. And did those pay? Even those paid. Those went from 80 to 96 cents. Now, it's not your big name. When you're looking for these right out of the gate, most of the times, if it's same week expirations, ignore all these low dollar ones. Hit your big names, your Apple, your Amazon, your Google, SPY. I haven't got into that with SPX. Tesla, these puts that were not valid. TSM. You're looking, really, if you want to know about the first 1 to 4 minutes. That's your prime time zone right out of the gate. Earlier in the week, those can turn into swings, as you saw with Target last week. TSM, these came right out of the gate, and these were the 105 calls for tomorrow. 105 calls for tomorrow. They were 21 by 23. Those really were not a winner. So even though TSM, it's not a major player, ATVI, for instance, and that we don't know what that stuff is. Do the ones that you know. Do all the big names. Big names right out of the gate, same week expiration. Most important days, Thursday and Friday on those. But that came ATVI. That's still at higher dollar stock, $80 calls. Some of these other ones can work also. But ATVI came out of the gate 44 cents. And you can actually see, well, 44 by 75 was the bid ask, so they got in at 75. They still went up to $2, but you had to overpay for those. Sometimes if it's a name, look at that. Just if the spread's too big when you're looking at it, don't even bother unless you have some time on it. I mean, if it's a big names, if it's one of these names that you're looking at, look at the bid ask. You could have got in these. You wouldn't have made much. You don't know what that is. Who knows? I mean, semiconductor. Who cares what it is? ATVI, too big a bid-ask spread. You see that? Just pass on by. Now you're out of the first 5 or so minutes that end up from there, from TS and ATVI. Now you're in swing zone. I mean, you could have got some day trades in here. And then you have these mixed bags, like maybe BABA at 941. And BABA at 941. These were the $87 calls. And they were paying like 56 cents. They went to like $1. So even those went up 100%. Square putts, let's take a look. You're starting to get a little further. You want to pay attention to the first few minutes, right? SQ, 63 putts. And did these pay? They're paying like 60 cents. And those would not pay. Those dipped. So, see, stay with your big names. Stay with the first few minutes of the day. That's trick and tip number 1. This works the best Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. It can work every day of the week. It's just when it's Thursdays and Fridays, the move is almost instant. Check out Amazon and Tesla and SPY for any evidence of that. You get out a little further, and then you're just looking for names. Like if I'm scanning this is coming in. XPEV, I see that all the time. I don't care. AMC, I don't care. That low dollar junk stock, I don't really care so much for these. Sometimes I'll get one, but I'm not looking for the ones that it's been in the news all the time. AMC, XPEV, I don't know what it is. It's too far out. I don't care. PLTR, I don't always look at PLTR. I mean, if I was looking for a swing right out of the gate and I don't care if it says written or not, I still take them. Maybe QS, interesting name, MP. And I would just look it up on a chart real quick. MRO, stay away from. I don't think it's worth it. I could be wrong. Then you start seeing the Amazons, they started adding positions. If you see them come back in with further out strikes, they come in. Sometimes those can still work if you didn't hit the early ones. VIX, I don't pay attention to. Bank of America, I don't really care. INTC, I see it quite a bit. I normally don't play it. Like DBX, I would pay attention to that. XLE, I would stay away from. That's just me. Maybe you have better success. SPCE, that space exploration, is a little too high for me for $5.50. If it's $5.50, I expect to pay like 10 or 20 cents, no more than 10 or 20 cents. This is like 75 cents. I'm not going to even bother. UAL, for a swing, possibly. That's not a bad swing. That's not a bad swing. Let's just take a look. I'm just telling you, here's what I look at in some of the symbols that I stay away from. Some of the symbols that I look at. And that wasn't, I mean, a little move. But UAL, you can pull it up and check out your things like PLTR. You know, some of these just get hit so much, I don't pay attention to them. AMC, PLTR. You can still get some moves. Go, no, I don't pay attention to that. If I was looking through these right here, I'm going to go straight to this TMF. I know it's an $8 stock, but the options are like 25 cents or whatever the case, what have you. I would at least consider it. It's not my favorite, but if I'm dying to get in something and get a swing going, TMF, $8 puts came out of the gate today, and those were actually in the money. And $6.30, $8 putts. Those went from, they got in at like 25 cents, they went up like 10 cents. It just, a lot of times it's not worth it. I mean, if I'm looking for a low dollar one like this, I'm looking for more time. Next week is not enough time for a low dollar stock, especially when the strike is so close. No. SPY, you start getting a little further out. Well, actually, that was today's, right? If you do SPY in SPX, I mean, once it gets further out of the gate, I'm not so familiar with these, so I don't even pay attention to them. There's only so many things I can do. AMC again, I don't care. FCell, I may look at that. You know, don't look bad, but it's a $2 stock. Why? That's what I say. SPCE, Ribbon, I don't pay attention to it. I start looking, especially on Thursday and Friday. I'm looking at the big names. I mean, you can pull it up, look at a chart, see if you like it. 1750 calls. You got some time, and they're not bad priced. It may work. Ribbon, that's the electric car deal. You got some time on this, but it's low dollar, and the options are too expensive. So I don't always look at all this stuff to the right. I can just tell right out of the gate. Snapchat, I mean, maybe, why not? If you want to do something for a swing, get in some Snapchat. I'm not saying it's going to be great. Ribbon, more Ribbon. And you got, boom, real. I don't know what that is. 15 by 25, $1.50. Is it worth it? I don't know. We'll look that one up real quick. I'm going to get pushing through here, and we're going to end. Already started with, I mean, maybe. It's beaten down. What are you going to get out of it? It's like 15 by 25. You got to get a move. I'm not going to take it. And then you see here, I don't know. I mean, I try to stay a little higher dollar stocks. Sometimes I'll pick up a low ball one. Mervell, you saw those perks coming in. That's maybe not a bad trade. MRVL again. And then you start seeing, you'll start noticing pattern like Airbnb. I don't normally see that. Those are calls. Maybe you can pick up that. That was today's. I'm not pulling up any charts or anything. But you start seeing it, and then you start going out further. Out of the gate, they'll be closer. And then you'll see like Piton. I think I actually got these 10s. Piton. Oh, these are 10s. I got some Piton 14s. They're mixed in here somewhere. I forgot where I saw them at. Guild, I don't normally see that. Maybe that might not be a bad trade, even though it doesn't have a lot of time to it. Lucid, Ribbon, Disney, boom, they came in out of the gate on those. And that still may not be a bad trade. The 91s and 92s for Disney, I would definitely keep an eye on. But you see this stuff coming through like IEMG, $50, maybe not bad. Ford, I don't always pay attention to that. I don't pay attention to Ribbon. Once it gets later in the day, I don't pay as much attention to the bigger names unless they're further out of the money, like this, the Amazon, July 21st. 150 calls for 33 by 34. I may pay attention to that. Target, 132 calls. You start seeing those come in, but you saw puts come in right before it. See that? When they do that, I don't always pay attention to it. Maybe it's a spread or something. But I want to see some single orders or some directionals or multiples in the same Manu. We saw that earlier, right? You'll start seeing these names. If you watch this enough, Mara, KWAB, it's a Chinese stock. I stay away from that one. It's just me. But then it starts getting a little boring. You'll check like Delta. You'll have your airlines. You'll have like Carnival Cruise Line, CCL, and some of these things. You'll notice these same names. But as it gets later in the day, you're wanting to look for more time and have time for it to work, like Intel 915s. Check it out. Check the chart out. See if it's looked good. See the volume. Jump in, small size. Who cares? You start seeing these, which I missed those. And NOTV, start seeing that out of the gate. J&J, look at that. You got some time with that one. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. Look for more time once it gets past the first 5 minutes. Look for strikes a little bit, $10, at least $10, $15. Sometimes you can do those $2 stocks or whatever. I'm just saying to start off, keep your stocks up. Try to stay with your major names. If you're doing smaller names, try to get ones at least $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 range, and with tight spreads and enough time. By enough time, I mean at least, if you're doing swings, at least 2 weeks. Now, I prefer 1 to 2 months. That's just me. You don't have to. You can also modify it and go with the same week if you want. There's all kinds of ways. COP, I don't know what that is. Looks interesting. Not so. I see the price on that. I don't really care. Roku, it's too much for me. I'll just glance at this as it's coming in. Glance at it, right? BBWI, I've seen that one before. I don't like the price. I'm liking the ones cheaper. CCJ, I don't know what that is. Let's go ahead. That's the energy putts. I don't know what that is, but you see a couple orders coming in here, right? You can star those if you want. And then you'll start seeing throughout the day. It's just too much. And then you'll get through it the day maybe, but keep an eye on the time. Keep an eye on the contract pricing. And something like this, EWZ, stay away from EWZ. I don't think it's worth it. That's just my opinion. But you'll see something like this, $40 stock, 30 by 90, too wide, bid ask. I don't even touch it. And it'll keep coming through the day. And you'll just have to notice, saying a lot of that, Pinterest, you know, putts, $25 putts. Do I like it? Costs too much for the stock. See that? I'm not interested. Instantly, I'm not interested. See a row of PLTRs? You know, possibly, but that's next week's. 1350 putts. If I already see it sold off a lot, when I look at this stuff, and I'll see it's already made a good amount of the move and it's getting close to the strike, I don't always get those. I want it to be pushed against the strike, the opposite direction, and then they're buying it for a big move in the opposite direction. That's what I'm looking for. Opposite direction, a large move possibility, like the stock's here, like $91. Let's say the stock is where, like the Disney, these are out of the money just enough, and these are cheap enough that passes the mustard. And it moved against it for a while. So Disney still, I think, is a good trade. And I already covered it. When you get to the end of the day, you're going to notice the ones that come in the last few minutes on Thursday night, Wednesday and Thursday night. So here it is, Wednesday and Thursday night, you're looking for the options, the last 5 minutes that are same week expiration that they're pushing in right before the close. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning, you're looking for same week expirations, the first, 3 to 5 minutes right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. The closer to the open they come in, the more you can guarantee that that's going to pay out. Now, Monday and Tuesdays, you're going to see, even if it comes out of the gate, those could be a 1 to 3 day hold, same week expiration. So this can be done. You got to waste more time. So the biggest way to look at this, you're going to make the most money on flow. For this setup, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning, first 5 minutes of the day, and then Wednesday and Thursday evening, the last 5 to 8 minutes of the day. And that's it. So that's all I've got right now. Just want to cover what I look at, what I do, what I missed out on. And we saw some great stuff there this morning that I missed out with Tesla. And you had Amazon and SPY. And I wasn't prepared. And they came in anyways. And took focus off and had too many trades on and thinking other things. And you got to focus on this. You got to become one with the flow. You do a Zen type of thing and breathe and let it all out and just focus. Copy those out. Now, I use Jump Share. This is what I do when I'm posting them anywhere. Here's how I do it. Order flow comes out. I go down here. Jump Share to me is a lifesaver. Well, it says click there to end recording. So anyways, I can't do it. Maybe there's a clipping tool. Same difference. Snipping tool. Same difference. So snipping tool, I'll show you how to use Jump Share if you ever want, but if you have snipping tool up, new, and you would do the same freaking thing. Now there's 3 ways to do this, okay? This is, now maybe you post it somewhere, take a clipping of it, right? Clip it out and save it to where it automatically goes online, whether it's in the guild chat, whether it's in a Discord, whether it's Twitter. Make sure it's cloud backed up so you don't lose it. So you clip it, you don't lose it, you copy it, you paste it over, you hit enter, you send. The ones you're interested in, send. Or maybe it's just Microsoft Teams on your own server. Send. Back it up. It's backed up. You're not going to lose it. You're not going to forget where it was. You've got a copy of it. Boom. So this is how I do it. So let's just say this is, I go in, I copy it out. It's going to pull it up here like this. And then I'm just going to, well, that's actually a save. So hold on. So copy. So this is copy. I'm going to do this live right now, and you're going to be, what? Do I have Gilded even pulled up here is the thing. I think I do. So I'm going to post this live right now, right here, and this is how I do it. It's just this simple. So just put it in here. I mean, we don't have to take all these trades. You put it in here, and you have to be on the web version of this, by the way. You're going to pop it in there, boom, backed up. You can reference it. It's saved forever. You want to, I'll leave them there myself. But there we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and copy these out. So, right here, that was one, right? What was the other one? The one we missed. Go ahead and do a new one. And we missed Tesla. Where did that go? Okay, I always use Wellstream, so snipping tool. Anyway, new, you're going to go Tesla, you're going to go Amazon. I don't know why it went down there like that. And the other one you would look at, SPY. That's the big three. That's all you need to know, right? We don't care about any of this other stuff. Make sure it's the big names. Make sure you know them. Make sure it's things like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Baba. I mean, it can be any of those. But I usually stick with ones I know. And then you have those SPY calls come out of the gates. I put it back down here again. I don't know why. I'm going to copy this over. I'm going to let the video upload and watch it. Let me know what you think. But this is how I do it. This is the science behind it. This is every single step. Midday or past the first few minutes gets into swings. You're looking for at least the next week. At least the next week, maybe 2 weeks out, a month, 2 months out. And then so the urgency is always as soon as the market opens, right before the market closes. I'm going to wrap this up. Got 30 minutes in. Hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions. We can get your eyes on this, doing this. On these days where I miss stuff, you're going to be able to see it and be like, boom, check, did you see this? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm in. No questions asked. I see this stuff here at the gate. I've already probably got these charts up anyways. You know, I've got probably Tesla up. I've got SPY up. I'm ready to jump in. So let's do this. Let's make some money. This is how it's done to make consistent money every single week using unusual option flow. I'm out of here.